everyone. Welcome back to Channel Daily American English. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy you're here with us today. I'm Sophia, your enthusiastic cheerleader for all things English and life. And sitting right across from me, well, virtually, is my favorite co-host and resident funny guy, John. John, how are you feeling this morning? Ready to dive into something that honestly makes a lot of us a little sweaty just thinking about it?
Morning, Sophia. I'm doing okay, but yeah, I'm already feeling that familiar little twist in my stomach just from the title. You know, like when you're about to speak up and your brain suddenly decides to take a long vacation. Hi, everyone. I'm John, the guy who used to be really good at English on paper, but sounded like a nervous robot in real conversations. And today we're talking about exactly that. How to speak English with confidence. Not fake confidence, but the real, calm kind, where you actually believe what you're saying. No magic tricks, no pretending to be someone else. Just real talk between friends.
I love that idea. All right, let's begin with a personal story from John, because I know this one is going to feel very familiar to many of you.
Oh, man. Okay, here we go. When I was in university, I was actually pretty good at English. I could write long essays, pass exams well, and even do prepared presentations and get good grades. On paper, I looked confident. But then I got my first real job after university, and everything felt different.
What happened? Tell us more.
My first big meeting, there were 10 people sitting around a huge table. Everyone had serious faces and wore suits. My manager suddenly looked at me and said, "John, what do you think about this proposal?" In that exact second, my English seemed to disappear. My heart started beating fast, my hands felt sweaty, and when I opened my mouth, only weak little words came out. Maybe? I'm not sure, but kinda? Perhaps we could? I didn't even believe my own words while I was saying them.
Oh no, it sounds like your English went home early that day. Totally. And listen, if the idea of speaking in meetings, on video calls, in class, or even just chatting with native speakers makes your heart beat faster, you are so not alone. We've heard from so many of you who say, "In my head, my English is fine, but when I open my mouth in front of people, I sound completely different," right? So today, we're going to talk about that feeling, laugh about it together, share some stories that might feel very familiar, and then give you small, easy habits that really work in real life. By the end of this episode, you're going to feel lighter, more hopeful, and actually excited to try speaking up. Does that sound good?
Sounds perfect. And if you're an A1, A2, or B1 learner, you're in the right place. We will speak slowly and clearly. We'll repeat the important ideas and explain new words when we first use them. Even if some parts feel a little difficult, that's totally okay. You can always pause the video, go back, and listen again. You're safe here with us. No judgment, only support and encouragement.
Exactly. Okay, before we start the main part, a quick little favor from us. If this topic feels helpful for you, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our future episodes, and maybe share this video with one friend who also feels nervous when it's their turn to speak. You probably know at least one person like that. And in the comments, we have a simple reflection challenge for you. Finish this sentence. When I have to speak in front of other people, I feel... Then add one more sentence. One communication habit I want to build this year is... You can be honest, you can be funny, or you can be serious. Whatever feels true for you. This is a safe, judgment-free zone.
Yeah, you can even write, "I feel like hiding under the table." We've all felt that way before. Writing your thoughts is already great English practice, and it helps you understand your own speaking story a little better.
Exactly. I went home that evening and felt really bad. I kept thinking, how is this possible? I know the vocabulary, I know the grammar. Why do I sound so unsure of myself? It was so frustrating because in my head, the ideas were clear, but when I spoke, they came out soft and hesitant.
I've heard that same story from so many English learners. I sound like a completely different and weaker person when other people are listening. And then you replay that moment in your head again and again for hours, right?
All the time. But here's something interesting that happened. Right after me, another colleague spoke up. His English was not better than mine. In some ways, his grammar was even simpler. But when he talked, everyone stopped looking at their laptops and really listened to him. Same room, same topic, but a completely different feeling in the room.
Wow, that's interesting. So what made the difference?
Oh, guilty. I used to do that all the time in my early days.
Me too. It feels like we are saying sorry for having an opinion before we even share the opinion. The more we do this, the less assertive we sound.
Assertive is a really useful word. Being assertive means you say what you think in a clear, calm, and respectful way. You are not aggressive or rude, but you are also not hiding your ideas or saying sorry every few seconds. You respect other people, and you also respect your own voice.
And the reason many of us find it hard to be assertive is because we feel intimidated in the moment.
Intimidated means you feel nervous or smaller than others because of the person or the situation. Maybe it's your boss. Maybe it's someone who speaks English very fluently. Or maybe it's just a very serious and quiet room.
It wasn't only the words he used, it was how he said them. He sounded steady and credible. He didn't speak too fast, he didn't add nervous jokes, and he gave one clear sentence at a time. People took him seriously, even though his English wasn't perfect.
That's such a powerful realization for all of us. Credible means when someone is credible, you feel they are believable and you can trust what they say. You think, okay, this person is worth listening to.
Yes, and that's exactly what we want to help you with today. To come across as confident and credible, even if you're not the loudest or funniest person in the room.
Yes, come across as means the impression you give to other people, how you seem from the outside. You don't need to be super outgoing or change your whole personality. You just need to stop a few small habits that quietly make your message weaker. And that's what we're going to explore together today, step by step.
Before we share the practical tips, let's talk about one common trap that many English learners fall into. We sometimes speak more because we want people to like us instead of speaking clearly. We don't want to sound rude, so we add soft words like, "This might be a stupid question, but," or "Maybe I'm wrong, but," or "I'm not sure if this makes sense, but." Oh, yes, I remember that feeling well. I would walk into the meeting feeling normal, but then I saw everyone in suits with serious faces, and suddenly my relaxed and fun self disappeared. Instead, this scared robot version of me took over.
That image is so relatable. So in those moments, your goal changes. It stops being, say something useful, and becomes, please don't judge me. And when please like me is your main goal, your real message becomes weaker.
Exactly. That's why we need to look a little deeper at what is happening in your mind before you even start speaking. Many learners blame their English level, but often the real problem is that their thoughts are not clear and organized yet.
Yes, you can sometimes hear when a person is still trying to find their idea while they are already talking. The words come out messy and a bit confusing.
I like to imagine the brain like a drawer in your desk. For some people, the drawer is neat and tidy. For others, and I was definitely like this, it's full of tangled cables, old phone chargers, and random things from many years ago. When you open it, everything comes out in one big knot.
Laughing warmly. I really love that metaphor, John. So the problem is not always a lack of vocabulary. Sometimes the idea in your head is still a big knot.
Right. People who sound confident are usually more deliberate with their words. Deliberate means you choose your words on purpose with clear intention, not just by accident.
Here's one super simple and helpful habit. Before you speak, take a short 1-second pause and ask yourself, what is my main point in one clear sentence? That little pause is not a sign of weakness. It's you organizing your thoughts first, like cleaning the drawer before you pull something out.
And in some situations, it also helps to quickly read the room.
Read the room means you notice the mood and energy of the people around you. Are they tired? Are they stressed? Are they relaxed and ready for jokes? Or are they very serious?
If you read the room and you know your main point, your sentence becomes much more focused and useful to everyone. Let's do a quick mini role play together so you can hear the difference clearly. Sophia, imagine we are in a team meeting and the boss asks me for my opinion on a new project that I think has some problems.
Okay, let's try it. First, the nervous and unsure version. Go ahead, John.
Well, this might be a stupid idea, but maybe the timeline is a bit, tight or something like that. I'm not really sure.
Oh no, poor John. That sounded so unsure. Now let's hear the more confident and deliberate version.
I've been thinking about the timeline for this project. With the current deadlines, I'm a bit concerned we might miss some important steps. I suggest we review the schedule together before we decide.
Yes, what a huge difference, right, everyone? It's the same basic idea, but one version sounds unsure and the other sounds credible and assertive. You can practice this easy exercise at home. Record yourself doing both versions on your phone and listen to the difference. It really helps.
I still practice this sometimes. It feels a bit awkward at first, but it makes a big difference over time.
Let's try one more quick role play. This time, imagine someone disagrees with you in the meeting. Nervous version first.
Maybe my idea's wrong, but I thought perhaps we could change it a little.
Oh dear. Now the composed version.
I understand your point. However, I still believe we should review the timeline because we might miss some key steps. What do you think?
Much better. See how staying calm helps your message sound stronger?
Another big challenge happens when emotions become strong. For example, someone disagrees with you, raises their voice, or you feel judged. In those moments, all your good speaking habits can suddenly disappear.
Yes, many of us start talking faster, our voice gets higher, and the message becomes less clear. That's why learning to stay composed is so helpful.
Composed means staying calm and in control, even when the situation feels difficult or stressful. You can still feel the emotion inside, but you don't let it control your words. Imagine your emotions are passengers in a car. They can sit in the back seat and complain, but they are not allowed to touch the steering wheel.
I like that picture a lot. In the past, I sometimes sent angry messages or emails when I felt upset, and then I regretted it right away. Now I take one slow, deep breath before I reply. That small pause helps me stay intentional instead of reactive.
Intentional means you act with clear purpose and thought. When you are less reactive, it becomes much easier to keep your sentences clear and your voice respectful, even when the conversation is difficult.
And here is one more common trap when we feel nervous. We talk too much and too long. We say the important point, and then we add many extra sentences because silence feels uncomfortable.
John, I think you are describing yourself again right now.
Guilty as charged. I used to believe my first sentence wasn't strong enough, so I kept adding more and more details. In the end, my main message got lost in all the extra words.
That's exactly why learning to be concise is such a useful skill. Concise means you are clear and short, but your message is still complete. You respect the listener's time and attention.
Instead of beating around the bush.
Yes, to beat around the bush means you avoid the main point and talk around it in circles. For example, instead of saying directly, "We have a problem with this plan," a person might say something long like, "Well, I'm not entirely sure, but perhaps there is a small part of the plan that we could maybe look at again sometime."
By the time they finish speaking, nobody, not even the speaker, is sure what the real point was.
Being concise is not cold or rude at all. It's actually kinder because it makes it easier for people to understand you without getting tired.
Even when your words are good, People are also watching your body language and listening to your voice very carefully. Before you say even one word, your posture and face are already sending a message.
If your words say, I'm confident, but your shoulders and eyes say, please don't look at me, most people will believe your body more than your words. Shoulders are very honest.
True. Confidence in the body doesn't need big dramatic movements. Sometimes it simply means staying still and present, not frozen like a statue, but also not moving around nervously with your pen, your hair, or your phone every few seconds.
Holding your ground is another quiet but strong skill. It means you stay calm and firm even when someone disagrees with you or the room feels tense. You don't shrink back or disappear.
When I was younger, I used to move around in my chair or adjust my clothes all the time when I felt nervous. It only showed everyone that I was uncomfortable. Now I try to sit steady, like a strong tree with deep roots. The wind can move the leaves, but the tree itself stays in one place.
That is such a beautiful image. And when your body stops fighting against your message, your voice can finally support it better. A strong voice is not always a very loud voice. It's more about carrying your thought steadily from the beginning of the sentence all the way to the end, without letting it fade away quietly.
Many people start their sentence with good energy and then trail off at the end, like they are apologizing. I think this is a good idea, maybe, never mind. Unfortunately, people often remember that weak never mind feeling more than the actual idea.
Slowing down your speaking speed a little and breathing properly can make your voice sound much more stable and thoughtful. And remember, speaking slower does not mean you sound boring. It can actually make you sound more serious and powerful.
When your thoughts, your emotions, your body, and your voice are all working together nicely, that is what we call alignment. Alignment means all the different parts are on the same team instead of fighting each other.
Real confidence feels less like acting in a performance and more like alignment. You stop doubting and attacking yourself while you speak, and you start standing beside your own voice. When you sound like you trust yourself, other people start to trust you more too.
So, if you are listening right now and thinking, I'm just not a confident person, maybe try asking yourself a different question. Which part of my communication feels out of alignment today? Is it my thoughts, my emotions, my words, my body, or my voice? You don't need to fix everything at once. Just pick one small thing and work on it step by step.
Every single time you manage to hold your ground a little more, take that deliberate pause, or speak with a bit more conviction, you are building real confidence, one sentence at a time. And this kind of confidence doesn't disappear after the meeting ends. It stays with you and grows in every part of your life.
All right, we've covered a lot today, but the most important thing is this. You don't need to become a completely different person. Small changes can make a big difference over time.
Start with just one tiny habit this week. Maybe the 1-second pause before speaking, sitting a little steadier, or trying to be more concise. Every time you practice, you are getting stronger and more confident.
You've got this. Your future self who speaks English with calm confidence is already so proud of you for listening today. Keep practicing, keep showing up as yourself, and keep believing in your own voice.
If today's episode helped you even a little, please give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend who might need encouragement. There's also a free PDF worksheet in the description with all the key expressions and example sentences to download and practice with.
And please tell us in the comments, what is one small tip you are going to try this week? Or what is your biggest speaking challenge right now? We read every comment, and we are here cheering for you.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. Keep practicing your English and your confidence together.
This is John.
And this is Sophia.